Who is Beelzebub? Beelzebub means Lord of Flies, place infested with flies, possessed of flies. Beelzebub is the god of Ekron, one of the 5 principal cities of the Philistines. One king of Israel sent to inquire of this god whether he would recover from his sickness. See 2 Kings chapter 1 verses 2 to 16. Beelzebub was supposed to be the prince of all moral impurities or evil spirits. So in relation to Jesus, the scribes were trying to say that he was possessed by Beelzebub, and many of them said he has a demon and is mad. John chapter 10 verse 20. Now we know that you have a demon. John chapter 8 and verse 52. But when his own people heard about this, they went out to lay hold of him, for they said, he is out of his mind. And the scribes who came down from Jerusalem said, he has Beelzebub. By the ruler of demons he casts out demons. Mark chapter 3 and verse 21. This context establishes Beelzebub as a false god, a point Jesus Christ's critics used to challenge his authority. The scribes' accusations against Jesus, as recorded in Mark chapter 3 and verse 21 and 22, are paralleled in other gospel accounts. Claims that Jesus cast out demons by the power of Beelzebub, the prince of demons. This accusation attempts to undermine Jesus' miraculous work by attributing them to a malevolent force, and by extension challenging his divine authority. Jesus responds by employing a logical argument, asserting that a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand, and if he casts out demons by Beelzebub's power, then Beelzebub's kingdom would be divided against itself. You are crying Beelzebub whenever you say fake or false of the one who has caught sight of the spiritual mountaintops now gleaming in the sun of the new timeless rebirth, just as they called Jesus Beelzebub because he presented and demonstrated truth ahead of its time in which he lived. Beelzebub, prince of demons, is not an adversary without a form, not a supernatural being or supernatural entity. Sin is not originated by a personal devil, nor are sins thrust upon us from without, as so many people seem to think. The idea of the devil being a specific person outside of us rather than the physical element of sin within us is an attempt to move the responsibility for our sins away from ourselves. This is yet another example of men refusing to come to terms with what the Bible teaches about man's nature, that it is fundamentally sinful. There is nothing from without a man that entering into him can defile him, for from within, out of the heart of man, proceed evil thoughts, adulteries, fornications, murders, pride, foolishness. All these evil things come from within and defile the man. Mark chapter 7 verses 15 to 23. The idea that there is something sinful outside of us which enters us and causes us to sin is incompatible with the plain teachings of Jesus here. From within, out of the heart of man, comes all these evil things. Beelzebub signifies the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life, the desires that gives rise to multitude of thoughts in opposition to truth. These rebellious opposing force are the demons or the evil spirits over which Beelzebub is prince, or the central controlling fort. Christ's conformity to popular language did not commit him to popular delusions. In one case, he apparently recognized the God of the Philistines. If I by Beelzebub cast out demons, by whom do your children cast them out? Matthew chapter 12 and verse 27. Now Beelzebub signifies the god of flies, a god worshipped by the Philistines of Ekron. And Christ, in using their name, takes no pains to dwell upon the fact that Beelzebub was a pagan fiction. It was a mere accommodation to popular speech on the subject of demons.